2NURFM News. For our sponsor, Tile Warehouse Warners Bay, the large floor tile specialists.
It's 1 o'clock. Good afternoon, I'm Georgia Lupton with 2NURFM Hunter News. The New South Wales Independent Liquor and Gaming Authority has released a new report which shows an increase in annual turnover in Newcastle's electronic gaming machines. The 2.7% increase brings the annual turnover to $1.6 billion. Chairperson of the Newcastle Community Drug Action Team, Tony Brown, says there are a number of harms related to gambling which affect not only the gambler but also their families.
The money they're putting in is being taken away from proper living conditions, food on the table, and their kids' education. These people have problems with gambling because we know the latest machines are specifically designed to rip people off and to generate gambling addictions.
The Worimi Aboriginal Land Council is celebrating a change in fortunes which will allow the once troubled Marook Cultural Centre at Port Stephens to receive a multi-million-dollar redevelopment. The redevelopment is seen as a huge win for the Worimi Aboriginal Land Council, who was on the verge of collapse and put under administration a decade ago. The redevelopment will see a number of new facilities built on the site, including a wedding convergence centre. It is expected that the work will be completed by 2019. New water and sewer infrastructure will cater to over 5,000 new homes in Lochinvar, with Hunter Water spending over $15 million to fund the project. The funding involves the laying of a 3-kilometre water main and new pumping stations at both St Helena Close and on the New England Highway. Nick Kaiser from Hunter Water says the project will provide the new housing community with efficient water and sewerage facilities.
Providing this upgrade is all about making sure that Lochinvar is able to grow without any unnecessary hitches. We're expecting Lochinvar and the Maitland area to really be a boom area over the next couple of decades.
The population of koalas in Port Stephens is believed to be stable after a census collected by Council highlighted there was no evidence of a decline. The census was conducted over a 2-week period with more than 30 koalas spotted in the area in 12 different locations. Port Stephens Council says the use of a new smartphone app allowed more people to participate in this year's koala count. Following her resignation, State Emergency Services have praised the former Hunter Controller, Amanda Williamson. Miss Williamson resigned after 1 year in the job. Acting Commissioner for the New South Wales SES, Greg Newton, says despite some criticism, Williamson has support within the SES and will be missed.
In the course of the last 12 months, she has worked through a range of legacy issues in the region. In doing that, there's been a small number of volunteers who have become disgruntled. Having said that, since she's announced her resignation, we've had votes of confidence in her from volunteers across the region who are very disappointed to see her leave.
Around 18,000 tourists will be welcomed into Newcastle over the next 6 months, with the beginning of cruise season today. The first cruise ship, the Pacific Dawn, carrying around 2,000 passengers, has come into port today, with the Pacific Jewel docking tomorrow. Port of Newcastle CEO Jeff Crowe says the large number of tourists from the cruise ships will be beneficial to Newcastle's economy.
In the last season, it added around about $11 million to the local economy. When you've got that significant number of passengers coming in to go and to do tours or visit Newcastle or shop, then it just adds a lot of value to both local business, local tourist operations and the community in general, and it showcases Newcastle.
In finance, the All Ords is up 21 points at 53.27 and $1 Australian dollar is buying 71.92 US cents.
Sport. Thanks to our sponsor, Warners Bay Sports Club.
The Newcastle Jets come away with a point from their goalless draw with Adelaide United yesterday. The draw means the Jets haven't lost away from home this season, and coach Scott Miller says it's a positive result after 7 rounds.
That gives us a good idea where we're at, and the focus away from home now has to be reflected at the Hunter Stadium, and the next challenge, Brisbane Roar.
In surfing, Merewether's Ryan Callanan is moving closer to a qualification in the World Surf League after reaching the semi-finals of the Hawaiian Pro. The result puts him in 9th position on the qualification rankings, with a top 10 finish required for entry into the World Championship Tour. Big wins for both Merewether and University in cricket over the weekend, as they both continued their undefeated runs to secure a spot in the Tom Locker Cup final. Merewether was spurred on by another classy knock of 82 runs from Simon Moore, taking his average to an incredible 152 in first grade games this season. 2NURFM news time is 1:05.